showing you how I make this beautiful top. It is a leg of mutton sleeve. It's an African inspired outfit, and as you can see, I'm rocking my natural hair today, looking beautiful. It has a ruffle on the bottom of the waist area. So the items that you really need right now is your material, your inch measure, pins, ruler, and a pen. Or so first and foremost, to know the amount of material that you're going to need, you have to measure the highest part of your upper area, the highest part of the top part of your body, which is your bust area. So mine is 35 and I add an addition of 8 inches on it. So that's the amount that I use. And then you're going to measure how tall you want the top to be. I want mine, it's like 2-piece. So I want the top part to start to finish at about 16.5 inches, and then I'll add another about 5 inches, depends on how long you want it to be. So after getting our measurement, what we're going to do is separate the back piece from the front piece. Now you have to remember that because we're going to use button at the back piece have to have 2 inches extra. So the back is going to be 2 inches bigger than the front piece so that we can put our buttons in.
So at this time, I'm putting in half of my armhole, which is 8.75, marking it go all the way across. Then I'm going to put my highest bust point, which is around 10.5. I'm doing the same procedure, marking it go all the way across, because I'm going to use my ruler now to connect both of the lines that I just drew to ensure that the measurement is straight going all the way across.
Bust line, I'm going to be putting a quarter of my bust measurement, which is 9.5. My bust was 38. Then I'm going to go to the bottom and put quarter of my waist measurement, which is 8 inches. Then I'm going to come to the top and create my shoulder slope by coming in 3 inch by 8 inch, and on the 8 inch point I came down by a half. Then I connect from the 3 inch to the 8 inch point and then draw my shoulder slope. Then I'm going to go to my neckline. I use 4.5 for my neck length and my neck depth, and then I use 6.5 for my shoulder. So at this point, I'm going to be shaping out my neckline. I need a simple U neckline by just connecting the 4.5 to the 4.5 as I said. Then I'm going to be creating my armhole curve now by folding my inch measure on the armhole line, and then I'll come up on my chest line by 1 inch. Then I'll be curving my armhole to connect right to the bust width. Then I'll be forming my front armhole by going in 1 inch, because the front armhole is a little bit deeper than the back. So I'm just going to try to connect back it now to meet the back armhole. And then I'm going to connect all the lines together. Then for the seam allowance, I'll come out about 1 inch on the side, right down to the waist, and connect it as well. My neckline, my armhole, my chest line, my highest bust point, and my waist. This is where the button will go. So I'm inserting my darts by going in by 4 inches of the waistline. Then I'm going to come 1 inch below my highest bust point, and then take in ½ inch from both sides of the dart, and then I'll be folding it together, and then I'll be stitching it so that I can get an ½ inch dart. So this will give the dress a little bit of shape. So now it's time to cut out the shape of the top. I'm cutting the armhole now by cutting the back armhole first, because the front is a little lower, and then I'm going to go over to the neckline, and I'll be cutting out my neckline because both necklines are the same, so we can cut them at the same time. So I forgot to cut my shoulder slope, so I'm going to cut that a little further down in the video. So this is how the top is looking at this time.
Be separating the back piece to form two pieces because in the center is where the button will be. So I'm cutting that open into two pieces. So I'm going to put all the pieces back together and make some little notches for key information. So I'm going to notch where my dart should be, and then I'm going to come to the shoulder and know that this is where my button allowance for my button. Then I'm going to go now and cut out the front armhole because, as I said, it's a little bit deeper, so you have to cut that separate. So this is how the top is looking now. We have one big piece for the front and two small pieces for the back. So right now we're going to fold our material, and then we're going to spread the sleeve that we have just cut, and we're going to spread them 3 inches apart from each other. The top, we're going to use the ruler to make a straight line, and then we're going to come up from that line by 3 inches. You can come up by 2 or 4. I'm coming up by 3 inches, and then I'm going to form a new armhole curve. Then I'm going to trace the shape of the sleeve. So this would be my new sleeve. This is how it is going to shape. So at the bottom, I am going to go down about 2 inches because I want mine to be a little bit longer. And then I'm going to cut, and then you're going to see the new shape of the sleeve. Now I'm going to be cutting out my facing, so I'm placing my front piece on a folded piece of the material, and then I'm going to be tracing out the neckline. Then I'm going to take it down at 3 inches and mark all those points together to get the 3-inch straight across. Then I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut it out, and I will do this for the back piece as well. So guys, my voice over is not 100% clear because I'm doing this at night, and you know when you're living at the country area in Jamaica, how that go. So right now I have the 2 pieces for the sleeve, 1 big piece for the front and 2 pieces for the back. I have 3 pieces for my facing and 1 long piece for my gather at the bottom. So right now I'm jumping over to my machine to get the parts sewed together. So this that I'm sewing is the dart, and I'm sewing this one for the back piece. So I'm sewing 2 darts at the back and I'm sewing 2 darts at the front. Then that's my shoulder that I'm going to sew together. So now I'm sewing this long gathered stitch around the edge of the sleeve so that I can get to gather the sleeve up together. So I will be doing this for both of the sleeves, and I will stop right at the notch because I want the gather to stop at the notch. So these now are all the pieces of the garments that is the gathered. I have the sleeves together, I have the main body, and I'll just sew all of them together and then you will see the end result.
Stop me, can't stop me. Me house like me not pay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Within me calamity, poverty is a felony. Mount a pain, me feel it's like me at the show. When you magani see me out like you have a team. Me stand up like Mogani. When me fall over them, I say, a bug on me,